welcome to the SING group. This is the SING research group.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So this is actually the beginning of our group meeting that we've recorded for you to see kind of how we're meeting in these kind of weird times of COVID. So this is currently what we're doing, as well as having weekly research updates as well. Of course, we're hoping that we're all going to be back. In the meantime, we hope that you enjoy learning about the research group and look forward to your questions and visit. See you later.
So for the rest of this video, we'll be talking about a number of research vignettes where students will describe to you some work they do in a wide array of areas within our group. Everything ranging from bottle brush polymers. These are polymers that can undergo a molecular assembly because of their architecture. Polymer dynamics, so polymers in semi-dilute solutions that are driven far to equilibrium by flows. We have a vignette on complex class phase. This is a class of charged polymers that can assemble and form interesting materials with biological and practical relevance. And then finally, we have a vignette on polymers used for flow batteries. So these are polymers that can facilitate the transport of charge in energy relevant systems. So hope you enjoy the vignettes, and I'll see you later in the video.
Hello, my name is Tianyuan, and I'm currently a third-year PhD student. I'm working on the DMREF project, which is focusing on bottle brush polymers. This is a type of polymer consisting of a backbone and densely grafted side chains. This is a collaborative project where we collaborate with 3 different groups in ChBE department, and we're asking the question, can we exploit molecular tunability in on-the-fly material manipulation via 3D printing? So our collaborators can do experiments with bottle brush solutions as zinc to obtain structural color in 3D printing. And as a computational group, we are interested in how do we understand this process in a molecular level. So we have developed a coarse-grained implicit sidechain model to enable us to perform massive simulations to matrix experiments. So we use characterization methods, for example, structural factor and phase diagrams to understand this process. We are able to currently matrix the equilibrium self-assembly process with experiments, and eventually we're hoping to extend our system to out of equilibrium condition so that we can understand the 3D printing process more precisely.
Hello, my name is Charlie. I'm a 5th-year student in the SING group working on the dynamics of polymer solutions in flow. Our motivation for this project is that polymer solutions are routinely processed in strong flows in the manufacturing of polymeric materials and devices. An appealing aspect of using polymers is that they have a broad design variable space that allows for great functional versatility. An inherent challenge, however, is that while varying these parameters, you also significantly change the underlying flow solution behavior as well as the rheology. In order to shed some light on this situation at the molecular scale, we use a variety of molecular simulation techniques in collaboration with single molecule experiments done in the Schroeder group. So here I'm just showing some results from a specific case of a ring polymer, which is a linear chain with the 2 free ends joined together to make a circle, in a background solution with other ring polymers and linear chains and exposed to a strong flow. So from our molecular simulations, we're able to reveal a wide range of unique and unexpected dynamics, such as topological constraints and intermolecular hydrodynamic interactions, which significantly modify the conformational behavior.
Hello, my name is Jason Madinya. I'm a 5th-year student in the SING group, and today I'd like to tell you about the work that we do in the SING group on complex coactivation. Now, as Charles has mentioned before, complex coactivation refers to a liquid-liquid phase separation that occurs in charged polymeric systems. Now, we develop models that are based on the principles of statistical mechanics to look at a variety of different systems that undergo coactivation. For instance, Ashley is using what's known as a transfer matrix model to look at how pH affects polyelectrolyte complexation. She's developing 3-dimensional phase diagrams to describe the competition between charge repulsion and charge attraction as salt and polymer concentrations are varied. Now, I've been working on a model that uses field theory to describe phase behavior in charged surfactant micelle and polymer complexation. Previously, I used the transfer matrix model to show how charge patterning in polyamphiolites, which are polymers that have both negative and positive charges along the chain, and how the patterning affects phase separation. Now, if you would like to know more about our work on complex coacervates or what else or everything else that we do in the group, please feel free to reach out to us during or after recruitment. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your virtual visit. See you later.
Hi, my name is Liliana. I'm a third-year PhD student in the SING group, and today I'm delighted to tell you about our work on modeling redox active polymers as part of our work in the Joint Center for Energy Storage Research. I'd like to begin by motivating this work on the fact that we need to improve our energy storage devices to address the mismatch in energy demand and renewable energy generation. And one possible solution is to use redox active polymers for flow batteries. And these redox active polymers are a class of polymers that can store charges and undergo redox self-exchange reactions. The goal, of course, is to improve these redox active polymers for efficient charge transport to improve the viability of flow batteries for grid-scale level applications. However, we don't currently have a fundamental understanding of charge transport in RAPs. One way that we're addressing this challenge is by employing a minimalistic coarse graining simulation of a hybrid Brownian dynamics and kinetic Monte Carlo simulation. The way that we do this is we use the Brownian dynamics to evolve the conformation of the polymer and the kinetic Monte Carlo to capture the charge hopping behavior. We then calculate the mean squared displacement of these charges, and we're able to observe 3 distinct regimes based on critical length scales like R squared and the effective overlap concentration, or C star effective. Overall, we're able to achieve excellent agreement between our simulation and theory, and continue our efforts in modeling redox active polymers as part of our work in the Joint Center for Energy Storage Research in conjunction with our many collaborators. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us working on the project and check out our paper that I've cited below. Thanks.
What are some of the differences between experimental and computational research?
Well, I would say the biggest difference, of course, is that all of our research takes place on the computer as opposed to being in the lab working with equipment. Now, there are some pretty nice perks that go with that. For instance, I could sit on my computer, eating a sandwich, wearing shorts and sandals in the office, right? In experimental research, of course, there is a lot of equipment and chemicals and things that we just don't deal with in computational research. So I guess, which is better is really going to depend on each individual, but I would highly advise that everyone gives consideration to both.
What's your first year been like during COVID?
Yeah, so every week I have a meeting, at least one meeting with Charles, in which we go over any research questions I have, homework questions, really anything I have problems with. As far as classes go, all of the lectures are live or recorded or both. But most importantly, I still do feel like I'm learning all the important concepts.
What's it like working for Professor Charles Singh?
I think working with Charles is a very good experience to me. So he usually has a hands-on style of advising, and also I really enjoyed those days where we can just go to the whiteboard outside our office and do some derivation of theories and stuff like that. I really enjoy that.
What kind of job prospects are there for graduates of the SING group?
So it's a relatively young group, and we've only had 2 students graduate, and another's going to graduate in the next few months. All 3 have found jobs that they wanted without any real difficulty. 2 found postdoctoral positions with top faculty, and another is now an instructor at a major university. More broadly speaking, though, because the utility of a PhD for an employer is that you learn how to learn, and you've honed your independence as a scholar, the job prospects for somebody that does computational research is not too much different from those that do experimental research. There's no shortage of jobs out there for those of us in our line of work.
How does diversity impact your group and your scholarship?
Science has a big diversity problem, and that's even more so in the area of computation. Unfortunately, women and minorities are not well represented in our ranks. What I'm really proud of in my research group is cultivating an inclusive environment, and that our team consists of a diverse group of scholars working on problems that really benefit us all. After all, science impacts everybody, so everybody should be involved in that endeavor.
How do you feel about the group's atmosphere in the SING group?
It's a pretty welcoming atmosphere. It's very nice to be able to just go in and not feel like you're by yourself and you have people you can ask questions to. It's also one of the more social groups I've been in. where we try to do stuff outside of the lab with each other. We used to go out to eat a couple of times during the year with all of the group. So it's overall very welcoming, very social, and very supportive.
So thank you for stopping by our Slack channel. It was a delight to get to tell you about the types of research that's going on in this field. If you have any questions, if you have any things you'd like to ask me or the rest of the research group, please feel free to do so. We will be monitoring the Slack channel from here on out. And in the meantime, have a really great visit weekend, and we hope to see you.